have right now. So Garoppolo is more NFL ready than I would say AJ McCarron, Aaron Murray, maybe even Manziel. Because Manziel went to A&M, he had a lot of talent around him. So speaking of AFC East quarterbacks, and this is going to sound crazy, and I may have to be drug tested after this, but Kyle Orton is looking like he may be the best quarterback in the AFC East right now. He's taking over the starting position for the Buffalo Bills after E.J. Manuel went down. CB, what are you expecting out of Kyle Orton for the rest of the season?
Kyle Orton isn't going to win you a Super Bowl, but he's certainly a serviceable quarterback. Obviously, E.J. Manuel struggled a lot for the Bills, but Kyle Orton, we saw last year with the Cowboys in that last game of the season, is a capable quarterback. He did end up choking the game away at the end, as all Cowboys quarterbacks in December do. But he's probably going to make that team a little bit more respectable. He's not going to be a quarterback of the future for any team, especially at his age now. He's tried in Denver, Chicago, you name it. But the fact that he has all this experience is going to help the Bills out. They don't have the strongest receiver core. They have Sammy Watkins and Mike Williams. Those guys might get a bit of a boost. But they're not. Don't look for them to make a real run at the division. But with all the other teams struggling, it's certainly something that they are capable of doing. The Jets are struggling at quarterback, and especially in their secondary. The Dolphins have no clue what's going on at quarterback, and we just talked about the incompetent Patriots right now. So it's certainly something that could help the Bills take over the division. Now, that's not something that I would expect. I don't think they're the most talented team in the division, but it wouldn't completely surprise me.
Yeah, and I don't even want to get into the Dolphins right now. I mean, I want to say it's Matt Moore, but I can't tell you with confidence who the Dolphins' backup is. I think they had David Garrard at some point. He's gone. If you don't have confidence in Ryan Tannehill, I don't know where you're going in this division. The Bills, Dolphins, and Patriots are all tied for first at 2-2. The Jets are 1-3. Let's not say winning the division, but focusing on the Bills here. Can they make the playoffs this year?
I don't see that any team from the AFC East making the playoffs unless they win the division. There's no way those teams are best to get the wild card.
So if you had to pick right now, who's winning that division and making the playoffs?
I couldn't tell you. I don't think any of the teams are that good. Certainly, you're going to laugh at me for this one, but other than the fact that they have such a terrible schedule, the Jets haven't looked terrible. They've been in a lot of close games with teams that are probably better than them.
They probably should have beaten the Packers.
They probably should have beaten the Packers.
They had a chance against the Lions.
They were in there with the Bears. They've been close in all these games. Now, their schedule does not get any easier at all. And so that's why I'm not going to pick them. Patriots,
I was getting concerned for a second.
Go ahead.
I mean, I gotta say, I really like the Bills. I think the Patriots are just losing confidence. I love their defense. I really do. But if they can't perform with Tom Brady, I don't know what you're gonna do. The Dolphins, like I said, I don't even know who their backup quarterback is. And apparently, no one wants to confirm that Ryan Tannehill's the definite starter every week, besides him. So I'm honestly thinking the Bills have a shot at winning the division. Like you said, no one's coming out of this division with the wild card. So Kyle Orton, let's see what you can do. I mean, he kind of got kicked to the curb once Tebow came in Denver. That was more Josh McDaniels' fault than anything. So I guess we'll see what he can do finally. So we'll move on. We have the always reliable Deion Sanders. I say that with extreme sarcasm. With reports from multiple sources, apparently, that Jim Harbaugh is losing the 49ers locker room. No, I believe he is in a contract year. And there were several reports this offseason that the 49ers front office has not gotten along with him. And this is, again, why the rumors have been circulating with Michigan and a couple other college programs. CB, what is Jim Harbaugh's future looking like? Because the 49ers haven't been that good this year.
I think he'll be fine there. That'd be crazy to get rid of him, especially with all the success he had the last couple of years. This team has not been quite as impressive as we've expected, but they won a big game last week against the Eagles. I think they're going to start to turn it around. This team hasn't been what we've expected, especially in the second half. They've shown their flash has been very strong in the first half. I think for this team to continue to struggle is going to be something that would be big surprise to me because they're completely more talented than a lot of teams they've been losing to. Their defense is still very strong. Their wide receivers are better than they have been. Frank Gore is still reliable. And Colin Kaepernick looks a lot more mature in the quarterback position this year. I think they're going to continue to improve on each week, and they're going to put out a better performance than what they've shown us in the second half of a lot of these games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love the 49ers this year. I mean, they're always they're going to be a good team, obviously, but the way they lost the Cardinals, they barely beat the Eagles. I really don't like Kaepernick, honestly. And I'm not sure about the locker room report because the guys seem to love him there since the day he got there. I could see it kind of getting out of control because he is more of a player's coach. And, you know, the things that have happened around Navarro Bowman and Alden Smith. I can see some chaos in that locker room, but he's not Rex Ryan. He's not. I would see Jim Harbaugh in control. What does concern me is the problem, the alleged problems with the front office, and his contract going to be expiring. I don't see a lot of open slots though in the NFL. He's definitely not going to Oakland because you're not going to risk your career on that job. He already took that risk going to San Francisco, turning that team. I think they were like 2-14 the season before that with Mike Singletary. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then 2 seasons later they're in the NFC Championship. So he did a fantastic job there. I can't see him going back to college when he's had this kind of success. But I really don't see another spot for him. That's a problem. Personally, I'd like to see him go to the Steelers. I think Mike Tomlin's not doing the best job, but the Rooneys aren't going to want to make a change there. They love Mike Tomlin. If we could possibly get rid of Todd Haley, that'd be great. Myself and Snoop Dogg both agree on that. We do not like Todd Haley at all. I'm honestly trying to think though where Jim Harbaugh can go. Rex Ryan might be getting canned at the end of the season. At least he should be, but the Jets are a terrible organization, don't know the right thing to do ever. If they were smart, they'd get rid of Rex Ryan and hire Jim Harbaugh if he's willing to go there.
I don't think Rex Ryan's the problem there. I think the problem's their GM and their talent valuation. They don't bring anything in on that offensive end. They finally
Rex Ryan
and all the ownership's been upset with the GM this year because they left him $22 million under the cap, and as a team that was so short on offensive weapons, that's a travesty.
Yeah, the Jets are one of the worst run organizations in sports. I've said it before. I probably won't stop saying it for a long, long time. The only problem I have is that the entire Ryan family, they've been born to be defensive coordinators. Buddy Ryan didn't make it as a head coach. He tried to coach for the Oilers. It didn't work out. Rob Ryan is never going to make it as a head coach. Rex Ryan isn't having much success. He got lucky a couple of years with a great defense, getting to the AFC Championship. Obviously lost to my Pittsburgh Steelers. But Rex Ryan, he's a defensive coordinator. All he cares about linebackers and donuts. That's about it. So I'd love to have him as my defensive coordinator, but not my head coach. But Jim Harbaugh, again, you're welcome in Pittsburgh anytime. I will buy the team myself and hire you if I had that kind of money. So we're gonna move away from football for a little bit. Talk some wild card. Pretty exciting weekend or week, I should say. I was really disappointed, not only because the A's got knocked out and there went my World Series pick. I am a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. I turned the game on in the fourth inning. About 2-3 pitches later to the grand slam, I turned it off to put on preseason hockey. But it was really exciting. Um, and I love the introduction of the one game playoff for the wild card. Um, and the ALDS has been real exciting with the Orioles. I really like them. I think they might be my new pick. I'm gonna need to see one more game. And currently we have the Nationals and the Giants. Nationals are up 1-0 in the top of the ninth. Looks like 2 outs, and Storen's already in, so we'll get you the final on that one. CB, what is your biggest takeaway from the wild card and the start of the divisional series?
The Detroit Tigers bullpen is really bad. Not once, but twice, blowing the game to the Royals. I have no other way to say how they lost that game. The Royals, obviously, with the comeback to beat the A's as well. Maybe they're the team of destiny, but I don't think they're the most talented team, even in that series. So I have a hard time picking them to win it. Detroit, it's hard to say that they're going to win it down 0-2 in a division series. The Orioles have looked good. I just don't know if they have enough pitching or enough firepower other than Nelson Cruz with the bats, so I'm reluctant against them, although they just always seem to find a way to win. The team that I like is actually down 1-0. Clayton Kershaw got roughed up last night, but I still feel like watching them that they're a very, very good team. I know that it's been his last 2 playoff starts. He's given up 7 earned runs or more, but I don't see Clayton Kershaw doing that again. That lineup is looking good. Adrian Gonzalez has the most RBIs in baseball. Matt Kemp is starting to swing the bat well. He had 3 more hits last night. And then you put Yasiel Puig in there. You got Carl Crawford. D. Jordan at the top of the lineup that's getting on base a lot. That's a complete lineup, and they have a good bench. They have Andre Ethier off the bench. They have Justin Turner with 340 coming off the bench. That team is really complete, and Clayton Kershaw is going to probably won't lose more than 1 more game, if they make it through the World Series. They have Zach Greinke, who's been pitching well. They get Hyun-Jin Ryu back to pitch Game 3. That's a complete pitching staff. They have a lot of really good pitchers. They have a lot of depth in the batting order. That's the team that, even though they're down 1-0 and had their best pitcher lose to the Cardinals last night, that is a team that I like to win the World Series right now.
I gotta go against you there. I love the Cardinals. I always love the Cardinals. Just the way the organization's run. Almost all homegrown players. They bring them up through the system. And actually, real quick, the Giants did score. So now we're going to the bottom of the ninth. The Nationals will try and walk off and tie the series up. But the Cardinals, after they lost Pujols, everyone thought they were done. Come back and show them they don't need them. They lost David Freese. Still were a great team. Made it to the World Series. Lost to the Red Sox. I like the Cardinals. I think the Dodgers put up a good fight, but I see the Cardinals winning the series. Again, I think it's really tough for me now because I had the A's, then I had the Pirates, and everyone's getting knocked out. So to avoid jinxing another team and having them being eliminated early, I'm going to avoid making my World Series pick. Probably save that for next week, I guess, or if I make it sooner, I'll put it on my Twitter. You guys know to follow me at Nick Bogatis. Yeah, the postseason just getting started. So we'll have more talk on that. I do want to have this debate real quick though.